So yeah, it's the freebooters list. I'm gonna go into Evil Sunz now. I'll go over the whole list just to start. A war boss on bike / maybe def kill war trike. This hinges on if the war boss on bike has the speed boss ability. It currently does not because it was created before the new Ork Codex came out. Obviously, it's from the Forge World book. So if they do get the speed boss ability, then great. Sorry, def kill war trikes. It's probably going to be mostly war boss on bikes this edition still. But if not, then yeah, take a def kill war trike. Maybe one for now until there's an FAQ that says the war boss on bike has the speed wad ability. But yeah, he's the fast of and use warlord trait, which I'll go over later. Big Mac with KFF again. Weird boy with visions and the smoke for as long as it lasts. Boys, grats. Boys are just bear. They're here for getting in objectives and sitting in trucks this game. Knobs with the Truck Boys specialist ability, which is very exciting. 5 big choppas, 5 power claw. Commandos with bomb squig, 6 def copters with 2 big bombs, war bikes, 9 of them with a knob and power claw, 5 storm boys, 2 kill rigs, and 3 trucks. So I'll start off with the war boss on war bike / maybe def kill war trike. No one has a relic here. It's because there was what looked like a complete list of relics I found at some point like a couple days ago, but I haven't been able to locate it. And the like compiled leak does not have most of the relics in it. But yeah, let me find fast of and use. In your command phase, select one friendly Evil Sunz core unit within 6 inches of this model. That unit is eligible to declare a charge even if they advance or fell back this turn. I mostly just put it in this list because it's the Evil Sunz thing. I think ideally it's best on like a big unit of... I don't know, in hindsight, actually that makes no sense in this list, but I took it because it's the Evil Sunz trait and it's funny. It's like, you want like a big hammer unit that you can put it on that can obviously like just get in combat early, advance turn 1, slam into something. But I don't really have that here. I'm gonna leave it in for now, but yeah, like a bunch of storm boys seems good. You could do it on the war bikes, but then you're not shooting with them because they're advancing and they have DACA guns, which to my knowledge you can't advance and shoot. There's nothing that stipulates that yet. If they work like assault weapons, or if you're Evil Sunz and you can advance and shoot without an penalty for DACA guns as well as assault, that would be insane. But yeah, unfortunately it looks like it's not gonna be the case, so we'll see. But yeah, scratch. Yeah, who cares about warlord traits? When have those ever been important in the history of 40k? That's what it does, but forget about that in the context of the list. A really exciting thing about Evil Sunz to me is... Cloud of Smoke isn't bad. So if somebody has the opportunity to shoot at your def coptas or kill rigs, then you can make a -1 to be hit, or even a truck if it's a particularly important truck. 2 CP, little expensive for that, but it's good in the pinch. But the really exciting thing is drive-by DACA. So use the stratagem at the end of your shooting phase. Select an Evil Sunz Speed Freaks unit from your army. They can immediately make a normal move as if it was the movement phase. Not eligible to charge this turn. That's fine. We're not charging. We're running away. So yeah, you basically have a way to hit and run your def coptas and war bikes. So for def coptas, like say there's like a big old ruin that can keep them obscured. You fly them to the other side, and then you use 2 CP to fire and fade them back away behind. Pretty good, pretty annoying, and a lot of armies like most likely just won't have a probably often not have a good way to deal with it. And same thing could apply to the war bikes, but I think because the def coptas have fly and can ignore terrain, it's gonna be better on them. And then you can visions them for now. Visions into smoke is not in the new codex, unfortunately, but Psychic Awakening is still around for the time being. I don't know when it'll be removed, but just like Vigilus, I'm sure they'll take it out at some point. It sucks, but you know, such is the way of modern 40k. The Knob Truck Boy unit is super cool. So the Knob Truck Boy unit goes inside of a truck. What Truck Boys does is so you can do this on Mega Knobs too, which is really interesting. It was something I was debating doing, but there weren't quite enough points for it. Yeah, so the unit can disembark. Oh, I remember what it was. Never mind. Forget everything I said earlier. So this is something I have to look up. Or not look up, just like wait and see what the answer is. So if Fastive and Use can apply to the truck, and then the bonus still applies to the knobs inside after, which is rules is written how it works, I think. So I'm not sure if it works this way, but if Fastive and Use allows a unit inside of a transport to be able to advance and then charge that turn, that's what this is based around. If they can't, then still just having the truck boy's ability to move a truck up 14 because it's a speed freak evil sun, have the knobs disembark and then move 9 inches. It's still like, a 23 inch movement threat range and then 2d6 charge on top of that. I think this is awesome with that. And if they can advance, if the truck can advance an additional d6 inches and then the knobs can advance a d6 on top of that, it's going to be even better. I don't know if it works that way though. And if it doesn't, then I think just trying to find some unit like Squig Hog Boys or even like if Knob Warbikes are like Evil Sun's core, that would be super cool. I don't know if they are though. I think knobs are core. Oh, they're not. Never mind. All right, knobs aren't core. So yeah, I think Fastive and Use is best on a unit of a big unit of Storm Boys, which I don't have in here. Yeah, you could definitely drop some stuff for a unit of 15 Storm Boys that you just threw into your opponent's face. It's a threat that most armies will have to seriously consider. They're good against Sisters. They'll destroy a bunch of Skatari. They're a threat you have to respect and play around, and just like having the potential of that on the list is really good. Again, yeah, I don't know. You could drop the commandos for that if you want, and then like a handful of like war gear upgrades, and that should be enough to get the Storm Blaze moment to 15. I don't want to rebuild this now, but it's something to consider. Anyways, back to Truck Boys. This video is going to be a nightmare to edit. I feel like I'm like rambling all over the place. So yeah, you move the Truck Boys up. They disembark, and then that's a huge threat in addition to like 15 Storm Boys. Let me change it. I think we'll just include 15 Storm Boys for this. 165. Then we'll give them a knob with Power Claw, so that'd be 175, and then you could drop probably like these two. So yeah, you could either find a way to take off 10, or I'm just gonna get rid of the knob of Power Claw for now. So it'll back down to 165. And there you go. Now you have Storm Boys and knobs as an option for slamming stuff into your opponent's face turn 1 or turn 2, or just like, parking in the middle of the board, obscured, and then being a imposing potential threat. Yeah, this largely revolves around having the Def Coptas and Warbikes be able to fire and fade, though. And Killrigs are just good. They're a little bit faster here, and advancing and charging them into a bunch of shit alongside the Storm Boys, Warbikes question mark, and knobs is just good to have multiple threats. And then the Warboss and Warbike is as much of a missile as always. Just throw them into your opponent's face. I wish the Def Killa Wartrike had more offensive capacity. If it turns out you have to run him to get the Speedwalk bonus, then yeah, sucks to suck. But he's still not that bad in combat. He's a sick model though, and I don't know. Part of me hopes that the Warboss and Warbike doesn't get that, just so I'm forced to run the Def Killa, because I like how they look, but I might not run them otherwise. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, that's Evil Sunz. Hello, it's now 10:51 p.m. on Monday evening, and it's time to transition from coffee to evening joint. Coffee cup's still here. There's still a little bit left. Maybe I'll get a crossfade. Okay, so I think these are the more competitive lists. So I think the Blood Axe one is the least competitive out of all of these. It doesn't mean it like doesn't have a ceiling to be very competitive. I just think like as it is, this is the weakest one. I would say, yeah, probably these are in order. Like maybe the Freebooters I would put after, and then Evil Sunz slightly above. I don't know, maybe the Freebooters and Evil Sunz are around the same. But next up, I would probably put this Goff list. Yeah, again, it's kind of hard to tell where this will stand down the line. It feels like it would be strong off the bat to me, but would require a lot of revision. I'll just go over it and then I'll break it down unit by unit after. So we've got Gazgul, the Big Mech with KFF, Weird Boy with Warpath, 3 units of boys, 30 strong with a knob and a claw, 20 Beast Nagas, 10 Beast Nagas, 12 Beast Nagas, a Pain Boy, MSU Commandos, and 2 small squads of Storm Boys with no upgrades. So, I mean, this is similar to a list that's been around for a long time with Orks. I don't know about Gaz's role here. I think, honestly, because you're not using the, like, double Great Wog thing. This is just, like, a boys list. And I think maybe having an untargetable war boss might be stronger, and you could use the points difference from Gaz on more Beast Nagas. But because it's a Goffs list, I just thought it'd be fun to have Gaz in there. He's still really good. I didn't see any restriction that made him take a specific warlord trait on his datasheet. There might be something else in the codex that stipulates that, but I didn't see it on first glance. So I think taking Arda's nails on him, if that's the case, would be really good. I think previously he was locked into taking the Goff warlord trait only, but I could be wrong about that. So if that's the case now, then you can't take Arda's Nails. But if you can choose any warlord trait, then Arda's Nails is great. Yeah, and I mean, the Big Mech with KFF, I think is way stronger in this list now. And I think the list as a whole is a little bit stronger than it was like previously, for sure. And like in early 9th edition, this list was doing great, or something, you know, comparable to it. And I think with like Admech being as good as they are right now, and Drukhari too, to some capacity, it I don't know about its like viability in a lot of those matchups. I don't think you like auto lose, but against like a really good Admech player, I can definitely see this struggling. But you're getting 6-up Fional Pain from the Pain Boy. The Pain Boy is like easy enough to position to get a lot of squads because he's never had Holy Within. It's only a 3-inch aura, which is a little harder, but I think you could still get him within turn 1, at least all of the squads, and then like most of them after that. Another thing that makes me hesitant about Gaz is I don't think you can medi-squig him anymore with the Pain Boy. I think that stratagem's gone, which is too bad. And that was a big reason why, at least to me, Gazgul felt viable before, or the most viable before. I don't know if he's the same degrading profile when he gets stronger. But either way, I think like you always wanted to heal Gaz previously. And for my games with him, at least, that was always like where he really shone. It's just his ability to keep getting healed each turn, and the durability that comes from that. The KFF is way stronger because, like I said earlier, it can target like just so many more units than it could previously. You're gonna get all of these for multiple turns, or for how many turns as you feel like spending 2 CP for, at least. They're all gonna have a 5-up invuln. Yeah, you could definitely afford to take less boys and more Beast Nagas here if you wanted to. I like boys, so I have a lot of boys. I don't know if you need... The only reason why there's like 30 here is because I'm using all 6 troop slots. Or 6 in a battalion, right? I don't know. I still play other older editions in my head sometimes, but I think there's 6 troop slots in the battalion still. If there's not, then I would do smaller boy squads. Like, there's not that much of a reason. There's like that Goff stratagem that's new that makes them explode in 5s and 6s, which is good. I guess you'd want to target a boy squad that's big for that reason. But otherwise, like, I don't know, a 20-man is, I think, all you need most of the time. Like, in general in 40k, unless you're building for specific secondaries, like trying to grind them down by not having that many units, it's better to take lots of small squads than it is big ones. Not even like for blast reasons, just like it forces your opponent to make decisions that they wouldn't have to make normally if you just have one big squad. Like, imagine if you're playing a game and for some reason all of your units were combined into one unit called the army, and just whenever they shot they would have to target the same thing. It would like make the game way easier for them because you're removing the element of making decisions, and with that you are removing the capacity for them to make mistakes that make you win. I think like, yeah, just forcing your opponent to choose targets and hoping that they choose wrong is a really important part of competitive 40k and 9th edition. Yeah, ideally I wouldn't have like giant boy units anymore outside of that specific Goff stratagem that makes them explode in 5s and 6s. But even then, I don't know if it's worth it. And if you could have, you know, like 12 or 15 troop slots in a detachment. Yeah, just breaking all of these into like MSU 10-man squads, which from a like real world standpoint makes it a little more cumbersome because you're gonna have to do a lot more work to keep track of squads. I don't know, from as someone who's played a lot with like squad marks and stuff, it's not that bad. Yeah, so like just the durability of the, somebody did a Reddit post about the new durability of boys. Let me just see if I can find that real quick because it was really useful. Yeah, and I mean, on top of the durability, they also have AP1 now, which is huge. I gave the Knobs Claws. You could opt for a big choppa or double kill saw is still an option. Somehow I was surprised by that. I thought they would remove it on boys squads, but I guess maybe that's because there's in the new boys kit, you can give more weapon options than claw and big choppa. I guess that could be the case, but I thought they would change the rules for knobs for sure to match what's in the box. Yeah, Power Snapper, there's no reason not to take one. They're really strong. Again, another reason to take like smaller beast Snagga squads, just having access to more Power Snappas. For anyone who doesn't know, it's +2 strength, AP -2, 2 damage. So just the better big choppa. Yeah, the Storm Boys are there just to score, like engage in all fronts or perform actions, etc. You probably generally want to keep them in reserve, or at least one unit in reserve, and save it as like a late game action doer. Because yeah, you don't want most of your, at least your big squads of orcs to be performing actions. Another reason why I think MSU is stronger. For anyone who doesn't know what MSU is, it's multiple small units. I just realized it like might be confusing to hear me say a lot without actually knowing the 40k jargon. And then yeah, the commandos are there, just the same as the other lists. Good way to do actions. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. It's a pretty straightforward army. I'd like to try this and see how it feels compared to the older variation of this. And lastly, for now, I have the Snakebites list. There's a Death Kill Wartrike. So these are broken into 2 different detachments. I think the plan was to do an Outrider and then a patrol, probably both Snakebites, but Mozrag, so you can have 2 war bosses in the patrol with whatever. And then the Death Kill Wartrike with these fast attack slots for the other. And yeah, the Kill Rigs can go wherever too. But it's a Death Kill Wartrike, Mozrag with a Beast Gob and Half Chewed if you can take them. So you can give an extra Warlord trait to a character for 1 CP in the new book. I don't know if Mozrag can take it because he's a named character though. It's something like wasn't able to find out. I mean, yeah, the Beast Gob's great too. I don't know where the profile for the Beast Gob is right now, but I'm pretty sure it's the one that gives +1 damage to squig squads nearby, which is insane. And let me try and find Half Chewed. I gotta start saving these data sheets. I keep thinking like, oh yeah, it's all online. I'll just find it again. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Beast Gob is a Warlord trait, not a Relic. My bad, I got them confused. Same difference though. When a friendly clan squig unit is within 6 inches of this Warlord, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack with Squig Hog Jaws, smashes Squig Jaws, or Squigosaur's Jaws, add 1 to that attack's damage characteristic. Yeah, super good. So I guess it doesn't work on the Kill Rig. Or does it? Smash the Squig Jaws or Squigosaur Jaws? Is that what they're armed with? No, it doesn't match any of the weapon profiles of the Kill Rig, but that's okay. I mean, it's great on the Squig Hog Riders. Yeah, so I've got that, and then Half Chewed. Okay, yeah, so I thought one was a Relic and one was a Warlord trait. I guess not. Yeah, I would drop Half Chewed then. I mean, I think the +1 to damage is a lot better than as good as a Fort Funeral Pain is. I think Half Chewed is much stronger. Yeah, for some reason Mozrag can't take any generic Warlord trait, then take the generic profile instead of him. I mean, Mozrag's much better in combat than the generic like Squig Boss, but the ability to take Beast Gob is super good. The Grots are just there for sitting on an objective and, I mean, filling out the detachment above all else so we can have a patrol. 2 commandos are there for their normal action-centric job. This list doesn't have as much infantry, which will make doing like Retrieve Octarius data or whatever harder. I think if you wanted to, you could drop that. I think Grind them down is like okay with this list. You don't really have that many targets. It's mostly big stuff. The strongest one you want to take most games is probably Engage in all fronts because of your speed. And like the Squig Boys want to stay near Mozrag or the generic equivalent, whoever is the Beast Gob. But I mean, the Kill Rigs can kind of do their own thing. And the Warbikers don't even necessarily have to be in combat. The Squig Buggies are going to hold down like wherever they can hide out of line of sight the whole game and just pump out indirect fire. So yeah, you can definitely split a lot of your army up. Yeah, knobs and smashes squigs there again. Just the mortal wound ability is really cool, and they're a pretty good profile in combat. I can see a reason to not take them here. You could use those 130 points for most of an additional Squig Hog Boys squad if you prefer, or yeah, like another small Warbike squad, or even just like some more like Grots or something. Maybe a small Stormblaze squad or an extra unit of commandos just to do actions or have some infantry, so you have the option of taking secondaries that require actions. And yeah, the 2 kill rigs still as awesome as other. They don't really benefit from the Snakebites trait. Oh no, if I do. What am I saying? The right. Okay, the other reason you take Snakebites off this list is Squig units get +1 to wound, I believe. Yeah, the old ways. Each time a Squig model of this culture makes a melee attack, if that unit made a charge move or performed a heroic intervention this turn, add 1 to the attack's wound roll. Yeah, super good. And it's just Squig unit too, right? Or a Squig model? Yeah, so I mean, I think, let me check the keyword. I think the kill rig counts as a Squig model. I mean, that would make sense to me at least. Fuck, it doesn't. Never mind, it's a kill rig. Whatever. I mean, it still applies to the Squig Hog Boys. It's really good with them. Damn, I was hoping it's a Squig model. Look at that, there's a Squig. How's it not a Squig model? The most noticeable part of the model is a Squig. I don't know. Most of the melee attacks are from Squig. It's fine. I don't know. Who am I to be a judge of what a Squig model is and is not? That should be God's job and God's job alone. Should have stayed in my lane. Fuck. All right. Well, it still works on the other guys, and he needs it at least too, probably. I mean, he needs really high strength already. Yeah, I mean, this list will wreck most vehicles and monsters between the kill rigs and the Squig Hog Boys and the buff from the Beast Gob. It's a lot of melee potential. It's super offensive, and I mean, yeah, the Squig Buggies are so good. I don't know if I've broken down why they're good yet, but we can do that real quick. There's also the upgrade for them. I think it's like 25 points, and you can add basically make the heavy Squig launcher like 3d6 or something like that, which is like good, but I don't know. We didn't have the points. I'm sure you could like milk some out to make room for that if you wanted to. That's an option, but I don't know how necessary it is. So yeah, the heavy Squig launchers are assault 2d6, so you're getting assault 3d6 between the 3 of them. That's 36-inch range, which is most of the board. And strength 5 -2, 2 damage. Granted, you're hitting on 5s, but I mean, for 66 indirect fire, you'll definitely get some like good hits in consistently. And then if you get close enough, there's an 18-inch Squig launcher as well that has indirect fire. So I mean, it's 9d6 shots if a target is close enough to be in range of the normal Squig launcher too. Yeah, not to mention there's a shotgun, which is fine. But also the Squig mines are pretty fun. So yeah, they can do D3 mortals to a vehicle on a 3 to 5, so 2 up, and then on a 6 you can do D6. That's yeah, it's like you fish for 6s. I mean, even the 3 and 5s, you'll get like 6 mortal wounds at the end of the movement phase. It's pretty good. So I think just like running up to a vehicle and blasting it with that, and then like trying to finish it off the charge. And like, so say like there's a vehicle kind of by itself somewhere, and you can rush these Squig buggies over, kill it, so there's like no threats to that immediate area. They can shoot back at them, like behind a terrain piece. That's like pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a place for these guys in like almost any list, at least the way I see it now. Especially, I think freeboot is where they're strongest. Now, I mean, this is incomplete. I'm wondering if this counts as a Squig model. I'm assuming not, if the kill org didn't, but maybe. I mean, +1 damage in melee wouldn't be that insane on these. Oh, the saw blade's pretty good. Yeah, they're hitting on 4s, but it's still between the 3 of them, 12. Strength 7 -2 attacks. Yeah, it's definitely useful still. But I don't know if they have the Squig keyword. No one does apparently. And yeah, those are lists. I hope you like this breakdown. I want to like play test these and make them better. Like I'm sure I'll rewrite all of them. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are if you have ideas for orc lists. I know I've seen some people get excited about running double Gorkanaut and Stompa, or triple Gork / 2 Gorks and a Morkanaut. I think the planes are great as freebooters. Yeah, more beast snaggers and like trucks. Or like 3 kill rigs and a squad of beast snaggers in all of them seems pretty good. There's a lot of options. But I wanted to do something that like used a lot of the older units, and I blended a few of the newer ones in there too. Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing the future of the Codex. Whatever it is, though, I think there's going to be like so many different builds for a long time, and it'll take a bit before people finally arrive at a list that's like, this seems like the best one for like competitive 40k at the moment. It's like, I mean, it's funny looking back at like the 8th edition Ork Codex too, and then just like there's so many insane combos like when that book first came out that I feel like people really didn't take advantage of, and then some of them got FAQ'd kind of quickly too. Or like Codex Orcs, like spamming like 7 or 8 weird boys pre-roll 3 was like so good. I like didn't see anybody play it because it just never caught on. So yeah, I think there's always like weird lists out there and a lot of combos that people will probably be sleeping on when the book's new, and yeah, it'll be exciting to see them get fleshed out over time. Anyways, thanks for watching. We have a very active Discord if anyone's interested in joining that, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And there's a Patreon too in the video description. I mostly do hobby videos, but I like doing these little tactics ones, and I'll probably keep doing more. So yeah, check out all that if you're interested. Thanks for coming by.